Good afternoon. I'm Dennis Farrell. And yes, we've got 4 days to go. Then it's time for us to make our cross for the person or the party on which we want them to be our councillors and leading us to better heights within our municipalities for the next 5 years. I was asked by some friends just to share a few thoughts, further thoughts for them, and I'm just doing it via this channel. So this caption here indicates the opposition, and you can see what is happening there is normal opposition, and we've now experienced this in the past week or 2 weeks, where there's been this hype up where people are now really accusing each other for not doing or for doing, and it just becomes this rhetoric. I've kind of just try and be apolitical and also be acritical as well in the process. So I'm just saying, but what is the solution going forward? Now, a lot has been said in circles about the smaller political parties. Now, I can emphatically tell you that if it was not for the so-called smaller political parties in the place, in the city where I live, the ruling party would not have been in power. And so they need to get a lot of credit. So where it's gone well, they need to get credit, and where it hasn't gone so well, they also need to get a bit of the stick as well. So, the smaller parties, the so-called smaller parties, have got a major role to play. On the other side is that I believe that you are as good as your opposition allows you to be. So where there's weak opposition, the ruling party can do what they want. Where there is strong opposition, the ruling party or parties are under pressure to really perform. And so, for me, is when the Springboks, if I can use that analogy, when the Springboks play against the All Blacks or the British Lions, they usually come up with their best game because the opposition is so strong. So let's give the opposition parties the credit for what they've done, and of course the same thing where there's been some good things happening in your city. Give them the credit, also give them the stick. The other thing I need to tell you as well is that there are very astute politicians in the opposition and or smaller parties. I know of instances where opposition parties have put, and specifically smaller parties have put proposals forward to council, which will be benefit of the whole community, for those to be overturned and rewritten in different words by the ruling party or parties, so that they can get the political gains from it. Now, that is just plainly not fair and not right. I must also say that I know of the smaller parties that are in the ruling party environment, which have also opposed of this. But that is the game of politics. So when we look at the opposition, let's find the good things in it and not just assume what everything that's in the media is correct for both the parties that are in power and other parties that are in opposition. Okay, then just a basic short recap. We've spoken about choosing your A team, or choosing or making your cross, and looking at the 3 ballots in terms of the local municipalities which you will be getting ballot papers, and the 2 for the metros. So in choosing an A team, it's important that you go look at the ward councillor, do your homework, understand who you can keep accountable for, that they will deliver on the promises which there are and into the needs of what the community requires, which is taken up through your ward committees, and then also is put forward through your IDP, your integrated development planning, and that those activities are delivered. The second one would be to vote for a party, and here it won't be an independent, a party that you feel would be the right people that can govern your city or play a big role in it. Now, my approach to this is, I say, well, once again, if I look at the success of the Springbok team, it was the bringing on of the so-called bomb squad here at a certain time in the second half. So maybe we need to start choosing a bomb squad. So if you look at those parties that you want to vote for, maybe it's not voting for X for all of them, but to maybe say, I'll vote for this individual here, and why they, because they've played a very good role in either in the governing party or in the opposition, and I'm praying for XYZ in the other one. So choose your players in your team of political players within your council, those that are going to really make the difference. Then the last one will be the same approach I will be taking in terms of the district as well. because that also becomes important. So ensure that you choose the right team, the team that's got the right competence. You don't want everybody to be stump car spelers, just bulls in a china shop. You need people that are in there that are really great leaders and that can take the community forward. Okay, then lastly, it's, and these are kind of decisions that we have to make for ourselves. So I've made a decision for myself that I want to be part of the solution. I don't want to sit on the side of the fence. So I need to go draw my cross wherever I draw my cross, but I must ensure I'm part of the solution. And when I evaluate or being part of the solution and voting for people in council, I want to take the principles on the left-hand side into consideration. The principle of Batu Pede, the people first. Now, this does not mean that it's everything throw the baby out with the bathwater, but within the means of that specific municipality, that the important word here is the equitable distribution of services to everybody within the community. That needs to happen. So I will evaluate then who I can vote for, I feel that will deliver that. The next principle is Sida Uhi, which is the Akwesan phrase, which means we care, that ons omgee. So when I vote, I want people that care. So die mense moet omgee, vir ons omgee, maar ons moet ook begin vir mekaar omgee binne ons gemeenskap. Ongeag wat my politieke affiliasie is tydens hierdie verkiesing, we need to ensure that in the ward committees we work together for the best of our total ward and not have a political agenda in there. Then the other principle is Ubuntu, Ubuntu Nagavatu, which means I am because we are. We are here together. We are South Africans. We need to make it work for ourselves. And a great example for us was after the unfortunate riots which we had in KZN as well as in Gauteng, that the people of the community started standing together and they started sorting out the problems that there were and got things going again. So that was the community. It wasn't the political role players. As people on the ground said, we're not going to debate about stuff, let's start doing things. And that's really a great example. And lastly, I want to vote where I can have put accountability down. So people I'm going to vote with, I'm going to keep accountable. I will also keep accountable for the service delivery would be the administration. And they are the people in the municipality to ensure that things happen. I don't want to vote for a good administrator to be a leader in the political sphere of governance, because then the chances are that that person will start wanting to do the work of the administration is very good. So you don't want that. You want people there that can enforce governance, can give guidance, and can ensure that the mandate of the people gets high priority within the IDPs and the other related documentation. Then lastly here, as you can see the bottom there, there's people, environment, economy, the socio-ecological system. Now, once again, is that as people, we need to ensure that we are people-centric, that we address the needs and requirements of the people. We need to live the dignity of everybody. We need to create opportunities for everybody. So let's look at the people agenda, which we want our council to drive. Let's look at the environmental agenda that we need to drive. We've heard so much about water and sewage and pollution and other environmental factors, additional energy sources, etc. All these promises, but we need to ensure that our environment is protected. Otherwise, we're all going to have major problems going forward. Our economy, we need to look into where there is an inclusive economy, where we've got an economy that it creates opportunities for everyone. Yes, everyone. So we need to look at what is and influence the economic development policies of the municipality, the rural development policies of the municipality. We need to influence those, ensure that those are delivered. And then lastly, the socio-ecological. Now, I'm not the purist here, but this is an interrelatedness. So we need to understand the interrelatedness of individuals, the relationships between individuals, the environment, the communities, the economy, and everything becomes an integrated system. So if we don't work together, we're not going to get there. So when I draw my cross on the first, I'm going to be looking at these things, and I'm going to be looking at what is let's call it my bomb squad, which is that team of councillors across the spectrum of all political parties I can trust to deliver the service I require for my community, because the bottom line is really resetting our community for sustainability. We need to ensure we're sustainable. We as South Africans are extremely resilient, and let's take hands during this time and peacefully go forward and mark out who we want to vote for, and thereafter it's a process of accountability. Thank you.